Hello guys, welcome back to another statue unboxing. Today I'm pretty excited because this is actually my first Cloud Studios, but before we get started, I just wanted to shout out my members. We recently did a giveaway and King of Warriors won the Akira box set. But now let's go ahead and continue into the unboxing. Here we have the Cloud Studios styrofoam box. Something about the packaging, I just really enjoyed the way Cloud Studios packaged everything. It was really easy to take out of the box, and as you can see, everything is fit nicely into the styrofoam packaging. There were no breaks, but there was one piece that I had some issues with, which we'll talk about later. But as always, we're going to start off with the base. I have number 143 out of 158. So not a big edition size on this one, and I was really lucky to have found this one because Favor GK had this one in stock randomly one day, and I decided to grab it, and it was the last one because after I purchased it, they were no longer any available. But here's a close look at the base. There were some styrofoam pieces that got stuck onto the base, but overall I think it's a nice base. However, the tree branches are throwing me off a little bit. They look more like clay than they do actual tree branches. Here's two more other pieces that were sculpted separately. But yeah, just the color, I think they should have made it a little bit darker and it would have looked maybe nicer. But overall, still nice. And these magnet pieces, I love them. They just attach really nicely, really easily onto the statue. This piece right here is the Infinite Tsukuyomi flower. And I love the contrast that it gives the statue. It just sits up on top of the tree right there. It is magnetized as well, and I was a little bit surprised because it only has a little small notch, but the magnet was actually really strong. It was stronger than any of the other pieces, so it did stay on there pretty securely. But now moving on to Yamato's face, and I will say I'm sorry about my lighting. It's not the best, and it makes it seem as though Yamato has two-toned colors on his face, but no, that's just a flash. I couldn't make it focus on the color of the skin, but this Yamato was actually one of the selling points for me getting this statue, so I really like the way that he's kind of trapped on the tree bark there. But what actually ended up being my favorite pieces are these white Zetsus. The details on them is just amazing. All of the scars and all of the muscles are detailed very nicely on him. And I don't know, just something about him. The green hair as well looks really nice on the white skin. So I really did love the way that these white Zetsus looked. But again, because of my lighting, I just don't think you guys can fully appreciate how these look. You just kind of have to see one in person to see what I mean. But this is the first of the two white Zetsus, and he just goes attached here on the top of this tree branch. I also love how his hand just sits perfectly on the tree bark. So that was just another little touch that I really enjoyed. And here is the second white Zetsu. This one is not fully formed. As you can see, that half of his face does look sort of deformed, is what I would call it. But I really like the way it looks. It actually looks really cool. So I really do. I think I prefer this Zetsu over the one on the top. And this one is actually two pieces, as you guys will see here in a minute. I tried to attach it with both pieces attached, but it was pretty difficult, so I had to remove the white Zetsu, attach the tree branch, and then it did make it a little bit easier. Well, it made it perfect to attach white Zetsu, and again, his hand just lays perfectly on the tree bark. So yeah, that's about it. And now we're moving on to the main event. And here we have Zetsu himself with the full Akatsuki cloak, which, man, when I was looking at this, I was just really impressed by the quality of this figure here. I loved the black cloak with the red clouds. It looked 10 times better, maybe even 100 times better than the Deidara that I currently have by KM Studios. The details on that one just were not there, but here they were immaculate, and I really love the way it looks. So props to Cloud Studios. They really know how to make their statues. Here's the inside of that Venus flytrap type mouth that Zetsu has. I never understood why he has that, but it looks cool, I guess. And here's his face. Half of it is with black Zetsu and the other half is white Zetsu. Looks really cool, although I will say I don't know what that, if you guys can see on the bottom of the head, that yellow sort of gunk there was really strange. I was a little worried about it, so I didn't really touch it. I just kind of stuck it in place, and it worked. The magnets work fine, so didn't cause any issues. But I just thought it was weird that my statue had that. I don't know what could have caused it. Maybe humidity inside of the packaging. I don't know. But now you guys will see me struggle trying to put in his black hand, Black Zetsu's hand, because I don't know what happened here. I guess I don't know if it's supposed to be magnetized. Maybe one of you guys that owns this statue can tell me, but the magnets were not working and I struggled and it wouldn't work, so I gave up and I decided to put Zetsu onto the base. I did have to wiggle him a little bit to get him into the notch that's on the base there, but I eventually got it. And the reason I wanted to put Zetsu on the base was because I thought that his black hand would rest on top of Yamato and that would just hold his hand in place, but it doesn't quite work out that way. His hand is actually sort of on top of Yamato. It doesn't quite rest on top of his head. So you guys see here that it actually fell, and I ended up having to use some of this blue tack. Well, I guess I'll call this one white tack. That was included actually with the Cloud Studio box. So I'm assuming that it was meant to be used on this hand. But again, if any of you guys have this statue, please let me know how you guys got the hand in there. But what I did worked out. I just ripped a little piece of the white tack. I added it to the end of the Black Zetsu's hand. And when I stuck it in there, it stayed in place. So hopefully that keeps it in place for the duration of the time that I have this statue. But here I thought it was also really cool. You can actually see his ring on his pinky there. So I just wanted to show that off really quick. And here I'm going to stick it inside. It did take me a little bit. I kind of stuck it in there and pushed it. I think I might have added a little bit too much of the white tack because I generally don't like using the blue tack or white tack, even if it does come included with my statues. But in this case, I think it was necessary. But I eventually got it in there and the hand stayed in place and I was happy with it. So now moving on to some of these extra miscellaneous pieces that's included with the statue. We got some shuriken, some kunai knives, some white pieces that I assume are broken pieces off of Toby's or Obito's mask. And then you also have these black orbs, which I don't know what they are. I'm assuming that they're the black orbs from like the Sage of Sixth Path or something like that, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyways, I just kind of stuck the kunai and the shuriken where I thought they went. And then the last piece here is none other than Obito's mask. Obito is actually my favorite, one of my favorite Akatsuki members. So I love the fact that they included this little piece here. It's just a really nice touch that I really enjoyed. But I did have to come back to this flower because I did have to watch another video unboxing of someone assembling this because I was having a little bit of trouble, especially with those little miscellaneous pieces. I wasn't sure exactly where all the kunai went. And I noticed that the flower had lights on it. So I took the flower off and I was like, where did the lights go? And I kind of noticed that the red eye was magnetized, and I moved it around and I took out this piece right here, which is pretty cool. It's a little LED and you just add a battery. Unfortunately, I don't have this battery, so I'm gonna have to pick one up. I won't be able to show you guys the light on this video, but it's a pretty neat little LED. It even has a switch there that you can turn on and off. So yeah, that's just another cool feature of this statue. But even without the LED, I already thought it looked amazing. So it doesn't really require that LED. It's just a sort of like a cherry on top and just a cool little feature that they added. So eventually I will get a battery and I do want to see what it looks like in person with that light on. But for now, I'm just going to stick it back on and won't be using that for a while. But yep, that completes the assembly. The last piece to show here is a metal plaque that again is included with most of these statues, and it does tell you your edition size. So I got number 143 out of 158, and it's just something pretty cool that you can add next to the statue. Personally, I didn't really like this metal plaque. It was a little bit too bulky, and I don't know why. I feel like it kind of distracts from the statue itself, so I won't be using this. And then they also did include a card, sort of like a credit card with some more information, but it's all in Chinese, so I don't know what it says. And again, not something that I'll display with the statue. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of unboxing and assembly of the statue. For the end of the video, I am going to do my showcase as I usually do. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video.
For